Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
With the release of Todd Phillips' Joker in 2019, the character has now been portrayed in live-action films alone by 5 different actors, 6 if you count Barry Keoghan, and with each new cinematic interpretation, the status of the Joker as a fictional celebrity is elevated, and the pressure put on subsequent actors to portray the character competently is intensified. So how, with each new iteration, do movie makers, and more specifically trailer makers, choose to reveal the new interpretations to us, the audience? How do public expectation, a film's intent, and its position along the thread of history impact the manner in which the Joker is introduced on screen for the very first time? Let's roll the clock back more than 5 decades to 1966. That year saw the initial release of not only the 3-season ABC television program Batman, starring Adam West and Burt Ward, but also a feature-length spin-off film, aptly titled Batman the Movie. It's clear that the producers of the film were looking to cram in as many fan-favorite villains from the original show as a 100-minute script could allow for, including, of course, the Joker himself, played famously here by Cesar Romero, the actor who brought many of the character's staple qualities and idiosyncrasies to life for the first time on screen. The need to accommodate so many characters, combined with the industry standards for film advertisements at the time,
and you'll shudder at the death-dealing Polaris missiles.
Brace yourself, Robin. This could be the end.
Resulted in the team behind the Batman the Movie trailer opting for a one-by-one checklist approach to villain introductions, and with it, a mere mention of each villain's name, along with a single characteristically comical line from each.
And here are the dastardly villains. The Catwoman.
Oh, you're going to see the perfect crime when I get Batman in my claws.
The Joker.
Have you heard this one? It'll kill you, Batman.
The Penguin.
There are 2 eggs this wily bird is going to scramble. Batman and Robin.
The Riddler.
Question. Who's going to make the feathers fly and knock Batman and Robin out of the sky?
Yeah, this show is campy. It was deliberately humorous and extremely black and white in its moral depictions. But these were the days when the villain was, and needed not be more than, just the villain. The bad guy, the superficially motivated force to be stopped, thrown behind bars before his or her inevitable next unhabilitated outing. Unlike later trailers revealing later Jokers, the trailer for Batman the Movie bore neither the task nor the responsibility of revealing to audiences a whole new Joker portrayal, nor was the Joker the primary focus even amongst the movie's villains, coming second in a sequence of 4. This was the same Joker fans of the show already knew and expected to see, and a simple introduction like this one was sufficient as the simple promise that those fans' expectations and wishes would in fact be fulfilled. We can compare this briefly to the introduction of Mark Hamill's feature-length film debut as the Joker in Batman Mask of the Phantasm in 1993.
Now, the Dark Knight confronts his newest and most menacing villain.
Your angel of death awaits.
The Phantasm.
I want you.
Like much of the trailer we just saw, this animated film trailer is narrated by a non-character, and the Joker, once again serving a more complimentary role, is first introduced,
And faces his greatest danger.
and then highlighted with a prototypical example of his flavor of dialogue.
Can't be too careful with all those weirdos around.
Nearly 30 years later, a similar strategy of introduction is being used because once again we have a scenario where it isn't the depiction of the Joker that must be revealed, but rather his near inevitable, and more calmly anticipated, inclusion. But what about brand new Joker reveals? In 1989,
He's a real man.
something strange happened.
Not a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Mr. Mom's Michael Keaton was cast as the Dark Knight in Tim Burton's classic, Batman. Though perhaps less strange was that the great Jack Nicholson, known for his unconventional, unhinged character portrayals, was chosen to play the psychotic Joker in the character's first on-screen film appearance in more than 20 years. And while Nicholson's Joker has clear ties to what Romero had first constructed for the screen, this was a Joker set in a darker depiction of Gotham, one more clearly based on the version of the character redefined by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams in 1973. An all-new generation of Batman fans were anticipating a cinematic take on this modern tonal shift. The way the classic trailer for Tim Burton's Batman reveals the Joker, though, is interesting, and a little odd. We're first introduced to Nicholson's Joker in this shot, briefly and without clarity, before the emphasis of the trailer returns to where it began. To Batman and Bruce Wayne, another new character portrayal that needs to be sold to audiences.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
But next we see a pre-transformation Joker, aka Jack Napier. So either the character's arc is being given to us backwards, or we weren't necessarily meant to make the connection between the subject of the first Joker shot and this shot.
Nice outfit. You look fine.
Shown next here, it's evident that Nicholson's character is clearly villainous,
I didn't ask.
but without already knowing, it's less evident who his character is specifically. This makes it particularly jarring then when the shots to follow are not transformation shots or a slow reveal, but instead highly presumptuous shots of the Joker already in full outfit and makeup. There's little in the way of a well-crafted character setup, something to ease viewers in. On one hand, this might not have mattered. The generational gap between this film and Batman the movie, combined with this contemporary depiction of the Joker character, meant that the film and its trailer could act under the freedom of knowing they were doing something new, something that had not been done better ever before. In-issue versions of the character would face to some degree in every depiction to follow, but we'll get to that. On the other hand, it might be that this was not the first trailer for 1989's Batman. There is in fact another trailer for the film floating around, though it's of far inferior visual quality, and I was unable to confirm its release date in relation to the theatrical trailer shown before. In this version, the Joker's general reveal and character arc is depicted much more gracefully. We get Jack Napier's introductory shots, cueing us into his villainy, his relationships, and his agenda, followed later by the full Joker reveal from the film, out from the shadows, hat off, name delivery.
You can call me Joker.
Here, the connection between pre-transformation Joker and post-transformation Joker has been made, and we as viewers are carefully eased into this new visual depiction of the character this time around. And finally, both versions of the trailer end in the same enticing manner.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Leaving you with rather memorable thoughts of the film's antagonist as you anticipate its release.